All right, this is the recording for pre-AP on Friday. We've been talking a lot about costs, like finances, money, all this week. And today we're going to be talking about paying for college, which is super exciting because that is going to be something super applicable. So the first thing we're going to be doing is just brainstorming, or I guess we need to check over the homework. Let's see, sorry, my things are out of order. So this is the homework. Um, you can pause the video and just check those true falses. It really wasn't too much. And then you were supposed to brainstorm. This should say Thursday. Um, Yesterday we said brainstorm some possible like costs of college. Okay, you're coming up with different things, and you could have come up with like different things. It doesn't have to match exactly what is up here. Um, but those are just some examples. It says tuition, if you can't read that, room and board, which is housing, food, textbooks, transportation. Transportation, this means like, oh, you have to pay either for, if you take your car to college, you have to pay for like the parking spot. You have to pay for gas. You have to pay for a bunch of stuff, and it's not cheap. It's like $100, $200, like ridiculous. But anyway, so those are costs. And then down below, we were supposed to be doing a vocabulary match. So the first one, number one, funds awarded based on a financial need, and that does not have to be paid back, is a grant. Okay, grants again are based on financial needs. So maybe this is, we have these because in the world, some people have different circumstances when they're growing up, but if they work hard and like they're just doing their best all through their lives, we have these grants to help those people pay for college, because not everyone has access to like so much money. So these grants are just the government's way. You apply for grants, and the government sort of helps some people out, and again, it doesn't have to be paid back. Number two, for funds awarded based on merits, such as academic or athletic ability, and again, do not need to be paid back, or scholarships. These are probably the ones that you hear about the most. Again, you can get these for like doing really well on the SATs, or there's a test called the ACTs, or like all these other things, scholarships based on merit. You can also get it on athletic scholarships. I feel like that's the one that you hear more about, because people get like a football scholarship or a cheerleading scholarship or swimming, track, whatever. There's also just random scholarships out there. I had a friend, this is Miss Lyle talking, but I had a friend in college who, just because he was in the band, played the trumpet, and was from San Antonio, he got a scholarship. When I was in college, I got a scholarship just for being a girl in the band I was in, okay? And like, it's not always a ton of money, but that little scholarship can still help pay for something. And I always wrote like thank you letters to those people who gave me scholarships, because they didn't even know me. It was just random people. Anyway, sorry. Number three, funds that must be paid back. So these, you do have to save up your money to pay these back, and these are student loans, okay? So usually what people do, because college costs so much money, it's all those costs that just add up over time, is that someone will apply for a loan from the bank, and you'll say, hey, Mr. Chase Bank, can I please borrow this amount of money so that I can go to college, and when I graduate and get a job that pays me well, I'll pay you back. And a lot of times they'll also charge interest, okay, which is like an additional amount on those student loans. So you probably hear about your mom or dad maybe saying like, oh, we just paid off our student loans, okay? That's what it means. It takes some time because it's a lot of money, and they have to, pay for the rent that they're living off of. Okay, so again, loans, the big thing is they have to be paid back. Number four, provides a part-time job while enrolled in college. It is available to students with financial needs. This is a work-study program, okay? I had a friend, or Yeah, I had a friend who worked with like the technology department. She was really good with computers, and so she worked part time with the tech people at our school. And that money, instead of them like giving her a paycheck, that money that she was working for just went to pay for tuition. So she didn't have to take out as many loans or didn't have to apply for as many scholarships. It was to help pay for college. Okay. Number 5, funds that have been placed in an account for the purpose of paying for college expenses. Again, this is the savings account. A lot of your parents have these set up for you because it costs so much money. They want to start saving money now. Okay, they save and save and save and save. That savings account again isn't connected to a card. It's just sort of set off to the side. The other 2 questions, how are scholarships and grants different from each other? So if you think about it, scholarships, did they have to be paid back? No. Grants, do those have to be paid back? No. So the thing that they have in common is they both don't need to be paid back. The difference is, though, is that grants are based on financial need and scholarships are awarded based on merit or based on like your athletic ability. Okay, so it's a little different. One's just based off of what you need. Which types of financial aid are awarded / earned? That could be grants, scholarships, and work study because you're earning those, you're working for those. Which types are borrowed and have to be paid back? Student loans. Okay, so again, we're going to just talk about paying for college a lot today. Okay, so looking at this, we have like all these things in yellow at the bottom, and we're going to be sorting into what costs, what you would have to pay for college, and what are some ways to pay for college. So if you're in class, just pause and look at these and sort of talk for a few minutes with your table groups, and we are going to sort them. All right, here we go. So costs of college, things that you have to pay for it. You might not have even thought of some of these. First, food, okay? Food is not cheap. Food is not free, okay? College kids like free food, but it does cost money. This is just an estimate, $5,250 per year. And remember, you're not going to college for just 1 year. It's going to be several years. Tuition, again, that's just the cost of going to college. Tuition, 4 years of tuition is that much per year. So to figure out how much it would be for 4 years, you have to take that amount and multiply it by 4. It's a lot of money, okay? Bus fare, okay? Even if you don't take a car up to college. I didn't, Miss Lytle didn't for the first 2 years. She just, she hitched a ride with her friend. She carpooled. She was like, hey, dude, can you please give me a ride? Even if I took the bus, okay, you have to pay for that. Same thing with like a bike. You have to pay for the bike to ride around college. You have to have the lock so people don't steal it because people do that, sadly. Room and board, so that's again talking about housing, the dorms that you live in. You don't have to live in the dorms, but if you live in an apartment, that also costs money. So again, room and board is another cost. If you take up a car, this is not crazy because again, you have to pay for the gas, you have to pay for the parking spot if you need to do some upkeep on your car, like an oil change or something like that. That's not a ridiculous amount of money. And then our favorite textbooks, okay? Yes, it can cost $950. So what a lot of college kids do is they will like buy like used books, or like kids will try and sell their books like if they didn't like totally destroy them. If they keep them in good condition, they'll try and sell them off each year, each semester. So one, that they can make a few bucks, but then also the person after them doesn't have to pay as much money. Because sometimes professors will just charge a lot of money. Okay, but again, ways to pay for college, things that will help out pay for all of those costs. Scholarships based on maybe a sports scholarship or an academic scholarship. Work study, have a job part-time in the hours that you aren't in class. Maybe you go work and work at the student center selling like in the gift shop, where they sell like t-shirts and stuff. I had friends who did that. People who work at the football stadiums during the games, it's money, it pays for it. Savings, what your parents have saved up over time. Again, that's why they start when you're young, because over time they can keep putting money into that. You get a grant based on your financial needs, and then family support. Grandma, grandpa, aunts, and uncles. They're like, hey, let's write you a check. And they're super nice, and you say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay? So let's go ahead and fill in these notes that you should have in front of you. Financial, or paying for college, sorry. Paying for college. This is, I think, on the back side of your notes. Grants, scholarships, work study programs, and loans are all types of financial aid. Okay. Loans can come from private lenders or the federal government. So I always think of this as either the government or like banks. To qualify for loans from the federal government, students must complete a FAFSA, F-A-F-S-A. And what that stands for is the free application for federal student aid. Every single year, the FAFSA is released, I think in like January time, and students fill these out because, and you write essays and answer questions just about different things. And this application will determine whether or not you qualify for these loans. And some of them, sometimes it gets you grants as well, okay, or scholarships. Everyone, because people don't know what's out there, it's always encouraged that everyone fills it out because it's a free application for basically free money, okay? The only form of financial aid that needs to be paid back are loans, because they're loaning you money. How do I cover all the costs of college? Or, yeah. So first you want to calculate everything it's going to cost. The tuition, the books, the housing, all that stuff. Then you're going to calculate everything you have, like, or that you get. Those are like the grants, the scholarships, the loans, the savings that your parents had. And you're going to, if you have the total cost and then what you have saved, you're going to subtract that. Okay, and a lot of times there will be stuff left over, so you have to see if you have enough. If not, you find the difference. Again, you're going to subtract to see how much more you still need to save, earn, or borrow. Okay, people work a lot over the summers when you're not in school. If they don't go to summer school, they work over the summer to help pay those loans back. Okay, so let's do an example together. The annual tuition, so that means the yearly cost for Rhonda's 2-year college of choice is $5,485 per year. Rhoda has a grant and a scholarship as shown below to help pay for the tuition. How much more does she need to pay for the tuition for both years? Okay, so again, there's some key things that I underlined in here. Okay, so again, they give us the annual tuition, but she's not going to school for just 1 year, she's going to school for 2 years. So we're gonna have to take that tuition, $5,485, and we have to calculate how much it's gonna cost for both of the years. We have to multiply it by 2. Okay, so do that real quick. Okay, that should be what you get, hopefully, 10,970. Okay, step 2, we want to calculate the help that she's getting. Okay, so in the table it says the scholarship of $2,000. This is how much she gets each year, but again, she's going for 2 years. So the scholarship, I'm just going to abbreviate, she gets $2,000, but again, she gets that each year. So in total, that's going to be $4,000. Then for the grant, what does it say for the grant? She gets $1,800 only for the first year. Maybe she doesn't get that grant the second year. So we also have another $1,800. Okay, we're going to add that to the $4,000 that she got from the scholarships. And this is how much help she's getting. Let's quickly think, does she have to pay back any or either of those, a scholarship or a grant? No, she gets that $5,800, okay? She doesn't have to worry about paying that back. So step 3 is figuring out how much she has left over. We take the total cost. We're just looking at tuition. If they wanted us to figure in the other things, they would have included it, but we're just looking at tuition. Now we need to find how much more she has to save up, okay? So she still needs to save that much money. $5,170. Okay, so again, over time, hopefully she works during the school year, maybe does work study, something like that to help her out with that cost of college. Okay, not cheap, not cheap. Okay, so classwork right now is you're going to work through these problems reading the situation. Pay special attention to the time periods that they give you. If it's a 4-year university and they give you an annual tuition, what are you going to have to do with that? You're going to have to multiply it by 4, okay? You have to see what terms and conditions, what scholarships, what grants, okay? Let's go ahead and look at this, though, number 5. I don't think it's fixed in your book, but the tuition right here, it should say $12,500, not $12,600, okay? And as it said, work on this for classwork, and whatever you don't finish is going to be homework. The key will be posted on Canvas, and I hope you have a great day.